everyone, my name is Helene and today I'm here to do a book haul. I went online and I went to Amazon because I had to order one book for my mother for her birthday. So I do hope she's not going to watch this video because I will unbox that birthday gift in a while. But obviously I couldn't just order that one book, and even though I do have this rule of only buying books that I really liked and that I have already read, I just had this book buying itch. So I ordered 11 books for myself. I kid you not, 11 books. So that's exactly what I have here in my boxes. But before we get started, I do have 3 more books that I bought after I made the order, and I also have 4 library books. So let me show them to you first. The first book I bought in a bookstore is The Secret Lives of Bees by Sue Monk Kidd, and I bought it in the Danish edition. I've already read another book by Sue Monk Kidd and I really liked it, so I wanted to get this one as well because I've heard that this is her best piece of work. I've already read it, so I'm going to talk more about it in my next wrap-up. I also bought my very first Robin Hobb book, and that is The Dragon Keeper. This is fantasy, and I actually don't know if it is fantasy for adults or if it is for young adults. Let me know in the comments if you know. But I'm currently reading this one. It is about some dragons who need to be transported from one place to another. I'm about a third of the way into it and I'm quite enjoying it. I wanted to read some fantasy, so when I saw this in the store, I bought it. And I also got some bookmarks. This one says, "All I need is a coffee and a quiet place." I also got a blue bookmark that says, "Keep calm and read a book." The last book I bought in store is Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. This is the last book by Gillian Flynn that I haven't read yet, so I wanted to bring it home with me. What I like about Gillian Flynn's books is that she writes very dark and sinister mooded books, and you have to be in the mood for them whenever you pick up one of her novels, and sometimes I am in the mood for a dark book, so this one came home with me. On to the 4th library books before I get started on the boxes. First we have The Fair Fight by Anna Freeman, a book about women boxing in the 18th century. I've already read this one, so I will talk more about it in my next wrap-up. Next we have Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen. I have already watched the movie with Reese Witherspoon and I loved the movie. I've watched it multiple times, so I wanted to also read the book, and it was standing in front of me at the library, so I grabbed it and I really love the spine. Then we have Haunts by Joe Hill, a thriller, and Joe Hill is the son of Stephen King, whom I like. I mean, I'm not the biggest Stephen King fan, but I do have a couple of his books on my shelves. When I say a couple, I mean maybe 6 or 7. But basically, I was curious to read this book as well and see what it's all about, so here we have it. And the last library book before we get on with the unboxing is The Book of Strange New Things by Michelle Faber, which comes with these beautiful golden edges. I really like it, but it's not mine, it's the library's. This is a book set in the future, and it also deals with another planet, and alone for that I have been very hesitant to pick it up because I'm not at all a sci-fi reader. But I recently read The Crimson Petal and the White, also by Michelle Faber, and I really like that one. So I decided to pick this up as well and read it. Now it's time for the exciting part, and that is to unbox the boxes. I have my scissors. Let me just tell you, I'm one of those persons, if I break a rule, like the rule of only buying books that I've already read, then I might just break it completely. So I think that's another reason why I ordered 11 books. I cannot just break the rule a little bit, I have to break it 100%. So the first book I see is also one of the books I'm the most interested to read, and that is The Fountain Overflows by Rebecca West. This is a book that takes place back in the days, but I don't know if it's a classic. Yes, it must be, because it is a Virago modern classic. I've never read anything by Rebecca West. This one I saw on Angie's channel, Ange from Beyond the Pages, so I will put the link to her channel down below. Basically, a lot of the books that I bought in this haul are books that I saw on her channel, and this one is one of them. I really like the cover and I just wanted to own it. I have a thing about pianos and these open windows. I love those kinds of covers. So this one I don't know much about, but I'm excited to read it. La, 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 la. A very red book. This one is The Robber Bride by Margaret Atwood. I'm sure you've heard of Margaret Atwood. She's a very well-known and well-loved author. I've only read one book by her, and that is Lady Oracle, which is blue. This one is the same edition, so that's great. But this one is supposed to be even better than this one. I do admit that I read this one quite some years ago, and I've forgotten about it now, so I need to reread it someday. But until then, I have this one as well. Once again, a book I don't know a lot about. I just know, oh yeah, this one is about a woman who is very mysterious and likes to rob things. I don't know, but I will find out. Then we have two books by the same author. The first one is The Orenda by Joseph Boyden, who is Canadian. And I love reading books taking place in other parts of the world besides from Denmark and the United States or the UK or whatever. So this one I wanted to read. But I will say I was a bit hesitant about this one because it takes place in the 1640s, and I'm not the best with this old fiction. I mean, it's not old, but it takes place back in the days, and I didn't know if it would grab me, but I got it anyway because I heard about it through Mercedes from Mercy's Bookish Musings, another channel that I will link down below. And she loved this book so much, and I trust her recommendations. So this is the first book I got by him. And the second one is Through Black Spruce, which also takes place in Canada, but this one takes place in modern times, and I love that. So I think I might start with this one and then read the other one. This one, I don't know anything about these books because I like to just buy books that I've heard about and that have been recommended and then read them. So I don't know too much, but I've heard that he's a brilliant author and I really want to read some Canadian fiction. These are going to look stunning on my shelves as well. I love the spine. Mwah. Perfection. Wow, finally I got my first book by Ali Smith. Another well-known author that I haven't read anything by. This one is How to Be Both, and I've heard that she writes, it is a woman, right? I've heard that her writing style is very unique because she writes with almost no punctuation, so that's going to be interesting. I'm not that good at reading those kinds of books, but I do think that once you get into it, it's going to be easier to read. And I really wanted to read something by Ali Smith. And the last book in the first box is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, the most famous book of hers, I believe. This is a dystopian book set in the 1960s? I'm not sure about that, but it's supposed to be brilliant and I haven't read it, so it's about time that I do so. I will say this cover is absolutely stunning. I've seen so many covers of this book and I've been hesitant to buy it because of the covers. I didn't really like the covers, but this one is absolutely stunning. So now I have 3 books by Margaret Atwood, which is great. That was the first box. Let me open the second one. I really do hope that this one contains my mother's birthday gift, otherwise... First book I see here is The Remains of the Day by Kazuo Ishiguro, which is silly because I do have another book by him, Never Let Me Go, which I haven't read yet. So why would I buy another one by him? Because I'm crazy like that. I mean, I've heard so many great things about this one as well. This one, as well as Never Let Me Go, are supposed to be brilliant reads. So I might just do a little marathon and read both books back to back and see if I like his writing, his books, his stories. I'm sure I will. But yes, here we have The Remains of the Day, and I don't know much about it, but we will see. Next book is a book that has made its round on BookTube quite a lot, and that is Uprooted by Naomi Novik. This beautiful cover I couldn't resist. I've seen the American cover and I must say I'm not a fan, but this one is absolutely stunning. Wow. Basically this is another fantasy book about a dragon, something magic living on a mountain, and then you have to deal with it. I don't know. But I've been in the mood for fantasy, so I wanted to get it, and yeah. I mean, sometimes when a book is very hyped on BookTube, I sometimes turn out not to really like it. So I hope that won't happen with this book as well, because I really want to like it. Next we have another hardcover, and that is The Gracekeepers by Kirsty Logan, which is basically beautiful as well. I need to see the inside because, yeah, wow. It is very gorgeous. We have these mermaids in the water and these beautiful stars. Yeah, such beautiful books. This book is about a floating circus, and what more do you need to know? I was sold when I heard that, so here we have it. And then we finally have the birthday gift for my mother. So mother, if you're watching this, please stop the video now, because you're going to receive this later on this month. Anyway, it is a coloring book for adults, and this one is called Playing with Patterns. And the reason why I got this one is because she wanted a book with patterns, so I thought this one might be it. And as you can see, it has some beautiful patterns that you can paint. I mean, it's just such a relaxing thing to do. I also have some coloring books myself, and I'm just loving coloring in them. So when I showed them to my mother, she also wanted one with patterns, so here we have it. Next, we have a very short book, which is good because sometimes it's nice with a short novel. This one is called The Persian Pickle Club by Sandra Dallas, another book that I saw on Angie's channel, and she loved this book, so I was sold. Also, I read about it and it sounded really good. I think it's about some women who gather in a club and they exchange gossip, and I don't know. It's supposed to be really good, so I'm excited. And also this cover screams summer at me. I love it. Finally, the last book I have to show you is A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith. I've heard about this book from so many people now that keep saying that this is amazing. It kind of reminds of I Captured the Castle by Dodie Smith, which I loved. So I was hooked when I heard that. And that's all I know basically. So here we have it. Another book that I have to read, and I'm super excited. And those were all of the books for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm not going to hold up all of the books because I just can't. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day everyone. Happy reading, and bye bye.